Rain had been falling for hours, but few imagined how quickly the situation could escalate. In this fictional scenario, relentless storms swept across Beijing, overwhelming drainage systems, swelling rivers, and transforming familiar streets into fast-moving waterways. What began as another day of heavy rain soon evolved into a citywide emergency as floodwaters spread through residential districts, commercial centers, and major transportation routes. As emergency sirens echoed across the city, authorities activated their highest level of flood response. Rescue teams rushed toward neighborhoods reporting rapidly rising water, while police officers redirected traffic away from submerged roads. Public transportation slowed dramatically as buses were forced to change routes and subway entrances in low-lying areas were temporarily closed as a precaution. Within hours, commuters found themselves stranded. Cars became trapped in flooded intersections, forcing many drivers to abandon their vehicles and seek higher ground. Long lines formed at bus stations and transit hubs as thousands searched for alternative ways to return home. For countless residents, what had started as a routine workday quickly became an unexpected struggle simply to reach safety.
溜缆水库，看大巴倒下了，整个村差不多没了。
Emergency responders worked continuously despite deteriorating weather.
那溜缆水库。
Firefighters launched inflatable rescue boats into flooded neighborhoods where elderly residents, children, and families were unable to leave on their own. Medical teams established temporary treatment points near evacuation centers while volunteers distributed drinking water, blankets, and essential supplies. The fictional flood also brought daily commerce to a halt. Shopping districts closed early, office towers asked employees to remain indoors, and restaurants suspended operations as water entered ground floors. Delivery services struggled to navigate flooded streets, disrupting supply chains throughout the city. Engineers monitored rivers, reservoirs, bridges, and drainage infrastructure around the clock. Pumping stations operated continuously in an effort to reduce water levels in key districts, while maintenance crews cleared blocked drains clogged with mud, branches, and debris carried by the current. Every hour mattered as officials sought to prevent additional flooding. Hospitals prepared for a surge in emergency cases ranging from minor injuries to hypothermia and exhaustion. Ambulance crews coordinated closely with rescue personnel, often using specialized vehicles capable of operating in deeper water. Public health officials reminded residents in the story to avoid walking through contaminated floodwater and to follow official emergency guidance. As darkness fell, the city presented a dramatically different appearance. Reflections from emergency vehicles shimmered across flooded streets while rescue helicopters surveyed neighborhoods from above. Temporary shelters welcomed families forced to leave their homes, offering food, medical care, and a safe place to rest until conditions improved. Meteorologists in this fictional narrative explained that an unusually persistent storm system had delivered extraordinary rainfall over a short period. Combined with already saturated ground and swollen waterways, the continued precipitation overwhelmed parts of the city's flood control system. Authorities warned that even if rainfall weakened, runoff from surrounding areas could keep water levels elevated for many hours. Communication became one of the most important tools during the emergency. Official weather updates, evacuation notices, and road closures were shared through television, radio, mobile alerts, and online platforms. Residents were encouraged to rely on verified information rather than rumors circulating on social media. As floodwaters slowly stabilized in parts of the city, attention shifted toward recovery. Cleanup crews began removing debris, pumping water from buildings, and inspecting roads, bridges, and public facilities for structural damage. Utility companies worked carefully to restore electricity where equipment had been affected by water, while engineers assessed transportation infrastructure before reopening services. Businesses faced the difficult task of recovering from flood damage. Shops cleaned mud from storefronts, office buildings inspected electrical systems, and warehouse operators evaluated inventory losses. For homeowners, the process of drying buildings, replacing damaged furniture, and repairing interiors had only just begun. Volunteers from across the fictional city joined emergency efforts, delivering meals, helping families clean damaged homes, and supporting evacuation centers. Their cooperation demonstrated how communities often come together during times of crisis, providing hope even in the midst of widespread disruption. The imagined disaster also prompted renewed discussion about urban resilience. Experts emphasized the importance of modern drainage systems, improved flood forecasting, expanded retention basins, and stronger emergency preparedness. While no city can completely eliminate flood risk, investment in infrastructure and early warning systems can greatly reduce future impacts. As the fictional story concludes, Beijing slowly begins returning to normal. Roads reopen one by one, public transportation resumes, and residents return to neighborhoods marked by the signs of an extraordinary flood. The experience serves as a reminder that preparation, effective emergency response, and community cooperation remain essential whenever extreme weather threatens large urban centers. Although this scenario is fictional, it reflects the types of challenges that major cities around the world may face during severe flooding. Rapid response, accurate information, resilient infrastructure, and public cooperation remain the foundations of effective disaster management, helping communities recover and prepare for whatever the future may bring.
我操！干呀！
老龙王是不是睡着了？忘了关房门了？我操！下大了！我去！
台风正式登陆，真正台风喽！狂风暴雨啊！街上像浪一样。
这么大的风和雨哎，台风厉害了！这么大的风雨。